Falling in love is one of the most profound and transformative experiences a man can go through. It is not merely an emotional state, but a multifaceted journey shaped by biology, psychology, and personal values. To understand how men fall in love, we must begin by acknowledging that this process is deeply rooted in both the mind and the heart, influenced by evolution and shaped by individual circumstances. Men often approach love with a sense of caution, a byproduct of their inherent need to protect their vulnerabilities. It is not that men are incapable of deep emotion, rather, they tend to guard their feelings until they perceive safety and trust in a relationship. This is because for a man, opening up emotionally requires an assurance that his vulnerability will not be exploited but cherished. Respect and admiration play a central role in this dynamic. Men are drawn to partners who recognize their strengths and appreciate their efforts. This is not about feeding egos, it's about feeling valued for who they are and what they bring to the relationship. When a man senses that his contributions, be it through love, protection, or provision, are genuinely appreciated, he begins to open his heart. Love does not happen overnight. For most men, it is an incremental process, often built on shared experiences and mutual understanding. This gradual attachment ensures that the bond is not superficial but deeply rooted in a foundation of trust, respect, and shared purpose. Actions often speak louder than words for men. They may not always articulate their feelings, but they demonstrate their love through gestures of care, acts of service, and a willingness to go above and beyond for their partner. These actions are their way of communicating, "You matter to me." At the same time, a man's identity, his sense of who he is, plays a crucial role in how he approaches love. A man who feels secure in himself is more likely to embrace the vulnerability of love. On the other hand, those who struggle with self-worth may find it harder to fully engage in the emotional intimacy required for deep connections. It is also worth noting that mystery and discovery are essential elements of falling in love. Men are captivated by partners who continually reveal new layers of depth and complexity, keeping the relationship dynamic and exciting. The prospect of long-term commitment can both excite and intimidate men. The idea of permanence forces them to evaluate the seriousness of their emotions and the compatibility of their values with their partners. It is this reflection that often solidifies love into a bond capable of withstanding life's challenges. Men fall in love through a delicate interplay of admiration, trust, shared purpose, and emotional safety. It is a process that demands patience, understanding, and a willingness to embrace vulnerability. Love for men is not just an emotional experience, but a journey of growth and self-discovery, one that transforms not only how they see their partner, but also how they see themselves. To truly understand how men fall in love, we must first delve into the biological underpinnings that drive human attachment and romantic connections. These processes are deeply rooted in evolutionary psychology, neurochemistry, and even cultural adaptations that have shaped male behavior over millennia. From an evolutionary perspective, men have developed mechanisms to identify compatible partners and form bonds that ensure the survival of their offspring. Historically, a man's ability to protect, provide, and procreate was crucial for the continuation of his lineage. This evolutionary backdrop has influenced how men perceive and pursue romantic connections. Qualities like physical attractiveness, often subconsciously associated with health and fertility, can initially draw men to a partner. However, the emotional and psychological bonds that lead to love are formed through a more complex interplay of factors. At the neurochemical level, the process of falling in love triggers specific changes in a man's brain. When men experience attraction, dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, is released in high levels. This creates feelings of euphoria, motivation, and a desire to pursue the object of their affection. Additionally, oxytocin, often referred to as the bonding hormone, is released during moments of intimacy and trust, reinforcing the connection between a man and his partner. Interestingly, testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, also plays a role in the dynamics of love. While it is often associated with physical attraction and sexual desire, studies suggest that falling in love can temporarily lower testosterone levels in men. This decrease is thought to promote nurturing behavior and emotional bonding, aligning with the goal of forming long-term relationships. The amygdala, a part of the brain associated with processing emotions, tends to become less active during the early stages of love. This may explain why men, when falling in love, often feel less fearful of rejection and are more willing to take emotional risks. The brain essentially prioritizes the reward of forming a connection over the potential consequences of vulnerability. Cultural evolution also plays a role in shaping male behavior in love. While biological instincts are universal, societal norms and expectations influence how men express and experience love. For example, in many cultures, men are socialized to demonstrate their feelings through actions rather than words. This aligns with their evolutionary role as protectors and providers, reinforcing the idea that love is not just an emotional state, but a series of behaviors that communicate commitment and care. The biological foundations of how men fall in love reveal a fascinating interplay of evolutionary instincts, neurochemical processes, and cultural influences. These factors work together to drive the behaviors and emotions that create deep, meaningful connections, making love not just a romantic ideal, but a deeply rooted human experience. Emotional vulnerability plays a pivotal role in how men fall in love, though it often manifests differently compared to how it does in women. For many men, the journey to emotional openness is a gradual and deliberate process. This is rooted in both biological predispositions and societal influences that often encourage men to mask their emotions or prioritize stoicism over expressiveness. Yet, love requires stepping beyond these barriers, as vulnerability is the foundation upon which true emotional intimacy is built. When a man begins to trust a partner, he allows himself to reveal aspects of his inner world, his fears, dreams, insecurities, and aspirations. This act of sharing is not only an emotional risk, but also a profound expression of connection. Men, like all people, have a fundamental need to be understood and accepted for who they truly are. When they sense that their partner can hold this space for them without judgment or ridicule, their emotional defenses begin to dissolve. The challenge lies in the fact that many men have been conditioned to associate vulnerability with weakness. This conditioning often leads them to build walls around their emotions, fearing that openness might expose them to hurt or rejection. However, when a man feels safe and supported in a relationship, he starts to see vulnerability as a strength, a pathway to deeper connection rather than a liability. This shift is transformative and marks a critical turning point in the process of falling in love. For men, emotional vulnerability is often expressed through actions rather than words. They may demonstrate their trust and commitment through gestures of care, like prioritizing their partner's needs, offering support during challenging times, or going out of their way to make their partner feel cherished. These actions, though sometimes subtle, are powerful indicators of their growing emotional investment. Men often require time to process their emotions internally before expressing them outwardly. This can sometimes create a perception that they are less emotionally engaged, but in reality they may simply be working through their feelings in a way that aligns with their natural tendencies. Patience and understanding from a partner can help create an environment where they feel more comfortable opening up. Emotional vulnerability allows men to form authentic and lasting bonds. It deepens their connection with their partner and creates a foundation of trust and intimacy that sustains the relationship over time. When a man embraces vulnerability, he not only strengthens the love he shares, but also experiences personal growth as he learns to navigate his emotions with courage and openness. Admiration and respect are fundamental to how men fall in love, as they tap into a core need to feel valued and significant within a relationship. Men often seek partners who recognize their strengths and appreciate their efforts, whether it's through their achievements, character, or the care they provide. This recognition fosters a sense of purpose and reinforces their emotional investment in the relationship. When a man feels admired, it bolsters his confidence and deepens his attachment to his partner. Respect, on the other hand, provides the foundation for mutual trust and understanding. It assures a man that his values, decisions, and contributions are seen as meaningful rather than dismissed. Together, admiration and respect create an environment where a man feels empowered to be himself while striving to grow and nurture the relationship. This dynamic not only strengthens the bond but also aligns with a man's innate desire to protect, provide, and contribute to his partner's happiness. A shared purpose is one of the most powerful forces that bind two people together, particularly in the context of a romantic relationship. For men, falling in love often involves a deep sense of alignment with their partner's values, goals, and vision for the future. This shared purpose creates a bond that transcends individual desires and focuses on a collective mission. Whether it's building a life together, raising children, supporting each other's growth, or working towards common goals. When a man finds a partner who shares his ideals and aspirations, it strengthens the emotional connection, providing a sense of unity and direction. It allows both individuals to feel that their efforts are not just for their personal gain, but for the growth and well-being of the relationship. This partnership is not just about shared physical intimacy, but about aligning on the bigger picture of life, whether it's faith, career ambitions, or family values. Having a shared purpose also helps a man feel more committed and accountable. It gives him something to invest in that goes beyond temporary pleasures or emotional whims. Instead, it creates a sense of mutual responsibility, where both partners feel they are working toward a meaningful and lasting future. This dynamic fosters long-term commitment and stability in a relationship, making the love between them not only deep but purposeful, filled with intention and mutual growth. Shared purpose creates a sense of belonging and direction, turning the relationship into something bigger than the individuals involved. It provides both partners with the motivation to overcome challenges together, ensuring that their love is rooted in something lasting and transcendent. This alignment strengthens the bond as both partners feel that they are building something together that is greater than what they could achieve alone. Incremental attachment is a key element in how men fall in love, as it suggests that love often develops slowly and steadily over time through shared experiences and emotional growth. Unlike the often dramatic portrayal of love at first sight, men tend to form deeper emotional bonds gradually, as they get to know their partner and build trust through repeated interactions. This process allows a man to assess the compatibility of his partner and determine the sustainability of the connection. For men, emotional attachment typically strengthens as they experience life together. Small, everyday moments, whether it's navigating challenges, celebrating successes, or simply sharing quiet time together, gradually deepen their affection. Each interaction builds on the last, creating a cumulative effect where emotional investment grows naturally. This incremental process allows a man to feel secure in the relationship, knowing that the connection has been built on a solid foundation of shared experiences and mutual understanding. The gradual nature of attachment also provides room for a man to process his emotions at his own pace. Rather than rushing into a deep emotional commitment, he is able to reflect on his feelings and evaluate whether the relationship aligns with his long-term desires. Over time, as the bond strengthens, he begins to recognize the partner as an integral part of his life and sees a future together. Incremental attachment also means that love becomes rooted in trust. As men spend more time with someone, they begin to see how their partner reacts to different situations, how they handle stress, conflict, or joy. This continuous observation builds a deeper understanding and appreciation for each other, reinforcing the emotional connection. Men often feel more secure when love is developed in this way because it wasn't rushed or based on fleeting emotions, but on consistent, reliable interactions. The incremental nature of attachment allows love to evolve and deepen naturally. It creates a bond that is more resilient as it is built on a history of shared moments, emotional vulnerability, and mutual growth. This steady development fosters a deeper sense of commitment, where a man not only loves his partner but also trusts in the relationship's stability and potential for the future. For many men, actions often speak louder than words when it comes to expressing love. While verbal expressions of affection are important, Men tend to demonstrate their emotional investment more through their behaviors and actions than through declarations. This focus on action reflects an innate desire to show their commitment in tangible ways, ensuring that their partner feels valued and cared for beyond mere promises or affirmations. From a biological and evolutionary standpoint, men have traditionally been socialized to demonstrate their worth through deeds rather than verbal communication. Providing, protecting, and problem-solving have historically been seen as markers of a man's ability to care for his loved ones. As a result, men may express love by doing things like offering help, taking on responsibilities, or being present during difficult times rather than frequently saying, "I love you." This does not mean that men are not capable of or uninterested in verbal affection, but rather that their way of showing love is deeply rooted in practical expressions of care. When a man is in love, he often finds fulfillment in acts that ensure the well-being of his partner. He may go out of his way to support her, fix things around the house, or help her achieve her goals. These actions are an extension of his emotional investment and a way for him to express his dedication to the relationship. They demonstrate his willingness to take on responsibilities and show his partner that she is important enough to him that he is actively engaged in the well-being of her life. For men, actions can also be a way of reaffirming their feelings when words might feel insufficient or difficult to express. Some may struggle with articulating their emotions, especially if they are unsure of how their partner might respond. In these cases, demonstrating love through consistent, thoughtful gestures becomes the safest and most meaningful way to convey their feelings. A simple act of kindness or sacrifice can often communicate love more deeply than any words could. This tendency for men to show love through actions can also create a strong sense of security and stability in a relationship. Actions are concrete, reliable, and can be seen and felt in real time, whereas words can sometimes feel more ephemeral or uncertain. When a man consistently backs up his words with actions, it creates a pattern of behavior that fosters trust and strengthens the bond between partners. In a relationship, it is essential to understand and appreciate the significance of actions over words, especially for those who express love through doing. By recognizing and valuing these gestures, partners can create a deeper understanding and appreciation for how love is communicated. For men, the act of showing love through meaningful actions reinforces their sense of connection and solidifies the emotional foundation of the relationship. Masculine identity plays a significant role in how men fall in love, as their sense of self and the way they perceive their masculinity directly impact their ability to emotionally engage in a relationship. For many men, the way they identify as men, whether it's through societal norms, personal values, or the roles they take on, shapes their approach to love, intimacy, and vulnerability. Understanding how masculine identity influences love helps to uncover why some men may approach relationships differently than others. At the heart of masculine identity is often the desire to be strong, capable, and protective. Men are traditionally raised to view themselves as providers and protectors, both emotionally and physically. This sense of responsibility can affect how they experience and express love. For many men, showing love means ensuring that their partner feels safe, supported, and taken care of. They may not always express their emotions in overt ways, but their actions, whether it's taking care of practical needs or showing loyalty and consistency, reflect a deep emotional commitment. This connection between masculinity and love can create tension, particularly in cultures that place a high value on stoicism and emotional restraint. Men may struggle to reconcile their feelings of love with the belief that they must maintain emotional control or independence. As a result, some men may suppress their emotions or hesitate to express vulnerability in romantic relationships. For them, falling in love requires navigating this internal conflict, balancing the desire to protect and provide with the need to be open, intimate, and emotionally present. A strong and healthy masculine identity does not require emotional suppression. It can be an avenue for embracing vulnerability and love. As men mature and develop a deeper understanding of themselves, they often come to realize that true strength lies not in emotional detachment, but in emotional openness and vulnerability. When a man feels secure in his identity and self-worth, he is more likely to engage in a relationship with authenticity and emotional depth. His masculinity, grounded in confidence and self-assurance, allows him to embrace love without feeling threatened or diminished by it. A man's sense of masculinity can be shaped by the partner he chooses and the way she interacts with him. A woman who admires and respects his strengths while also encouraging emotional openness can create a safe space for him to explore love in a way that is authentic to both his identity and his emotional needs. The respect for each other's individual identities, masculine and feminine, creates a balanced dynamic where both partners feel seen, valued, and able to express their love in ways that align with who they are. Masculine identity is not a barrier to love, but rather an essential component of how men experience and express it. When a man feels secure in his identity and his role in the relationship, he is more likely to open his heart, show vulnerability, and invest emotionally in a meaningful way. This dynamic allows for a deeper, more fulfilling connection, where both partners contribute to the growth and strength of the relationship, respecting and nurturing each other's identities along the way. The challenges of vulnerability are significant, particularly for men who are often socialized to view emotional openness as a sign of weakness. Vulnerability, by its very nature, involves exposing one's innermost thoughts, fears, and desires, an act that can feel both terrifying and risky, especially for those who have been conditioned to protect themselves emotionally. For many men, allowing themselves to be vulnerable in a relationship is one of the greatest hurdles to forming deep emotional connections, as it requires them to relinquish control and embrace uncertainty. Culturally, men are often taught to embody strength, independence, and emotional resilience, with the implicit message that vulnerability is something to be avoided. From a young age, many boys are encouraged to toughen up, suck it up, or be a man when faced with emotional challenges. These societal expectations create a disconnection between men and their emotions, teaching them to suppress rather than express their feelings. This conditioning becomes a psychological barrier when it comes to relationships, as the fear of being judged or seen as weak can prevent men from opening up. The fear of rejection is another key challenge. For many men, exposing their vulnerabilities is an act of trust that requires faith in their partner's emotional safety. Men may fear that their emotional openness will not be reciprocated, or worse, that it will be used against them. This fear can manifest as emotional guardedness, where a man keeps his feelings hidden, avoiding the possibility of feeling rejected or misunderstood. It's this fear that often leads to hesitation in expressing feelings of love, affection, or emotional neediness, as doing so could open them up to potential hurt. Vulnerability is closely tied to the fear of losing control. Many men value their autonomy and often fear that revealing too much of themselves could lead to dependency or a loss of independence. They may worry that by sharing their inner world, they'll become too reliant on their partner's approval, making them feel exposed or even weak. This fear can create a barrier to true intimacy, as men may retreat into emotional self-sufficiency instead of fully engaging with their partner on a deeper level. The process of learning to be vulnerable can also feel unnatural for some men, particularly if they've spent most of their lives repressing or ignoring their emotions. It takes time, self-awareness, and often guidance to understand that vulnerability is not a sign of weakness, but a vital component of emotional intimacy. It requires patience and trust from both partners, as one person's vulnerability may trigger a reciprocal openness in the other. This mutual vulnerability can lead to deeper emotional connection and a more fulfilling relationship. Overcoming these challenges is not easy, but it is possible. As men grow and mature, they often come to recognize that vulnerability is essential for meaningful relationships. It is a process of unlearning societal messages about masculinity and embracing the emotional complexity that makes them human. When a man allows himself to be vulnerable, he creates the space for his partner to do the same, building a relationship based on mutual trust, authenticity, and emotional depth. In relationships, vulnerability is the key to true intimacy. It is the foundation upon which emotional bonds are built, allowing both partners to feel seen, understood, and loved for who they truly are. For men, overcoming the challenges of vulnerability opens the door to a richer, more connected experience of loved one that is based not on emotional armor, but on the courage to be open, authentic, and deeply connected. The role of mystery and discovery is central to how men fall in love, as it taps into both the allure of the unknown and the excitement of uncovering the depths of a partner's personality. Men are often drawn to the process of learning about their partner over time, discovering new facets of their character, values, and experiences. This sense of mystery and discovery can create a dynamic and evolving bond, which keeps the relationship exciting and engaging. Mystery, in the context of relationships, refers to the initial phase where a man is intrigued by his partner's complexity and uniqueness. As he begins to interact with her, he may be captivated by the small, subtle details that he doesn't immediately understand or that invite him to learn more. This mystery is not about deception or withholding important information, rather, it's about allowing the relationship to unfold naturally and gradually. Men often find this slow, organic process of discovering someone incredibly satisfying because it provides a sense of emotional adventure and engagement. In addition to keeping the relationship fresh, mystery also fosters curiosity. When a man is interested in a partner, he often feels compelled to understand her better, to ask questions, observe her reactions, and listen to her stories. This curiosity drives deeper connection as it encourages the man to pay attention to her needs, desires, and emotional landscape. The process of discovery becomes a journey where every new revelation about his partner adds to his emotional attachment. For men, the act of discovering someone's inner world, their past experiences, hopes, and vulnerabilities creates a deeper emotional bond that goes beyond surface-level attraction. The allure of mystery also aligns with a man's desire to experience something beyond the mundane or predictable. Relationships often grow stale when partners become too familiar with each other, but when there is still mystery and room for discovery, the excitement and sense of novelty remain. Men are often drawn to the sense of possibility that comes with unraveling a partner's layers over time. This ongoing process of discovery can help maintain a sense of fascination and excitement, ensuring that the relationship continues to evolve in meaningful ways. Mystery is not just about the partner, it also involves the man himself. As he learns more about his partner, he may begin to discover things about himself. Love is a transformative process, and as a man becomes more deeply involved in a relationship, he starts to understand his own emotional needs, fears, and desires in ways he had never considered before. The discovery of his own emotional landscape, often in tandem with the discovery of his partner's, can be a powerful force in his journey toward falling in love. The role of mystery and discovery also creates a foundation for deepening emotional intimacy. Rather than overwhelming each other with all of their emotions and stories up front, partners may choose to slowly reveal parts of themselves, building trust and vulnerability over time. For men, this gradual deepening of emotional connection allows for a more secure attachment. They are not rushed into a relationship where everything is immediately known, but instead can take the time to build a meaningful connection that is nurtured through ongoing discovery. In relationships where both partners embrace the role of mystery and discovery, the sense of adventure and excitement persists throughout the relationship. This dynamic keeps love from becoming stagnant, ensuring that there is always room for growth and learning. For men, the process of uncovering new layers of a partner's personality can intensify their emotional connection and reinforce their sense of commitment, as they feel continually engaged in the evolving narrative of their relationship. The role of mystery and discovery in love provides both partners with a sense of intrigue and excitement. It allows men to engage in a deeper exploration of both their partner's inner world and their own emotional development. This ongoing journey of mutual discovery fosters emotional intimacy, keeps the relationship dynamic, and ensures that the bond remains strong and rewarding over time. The impact of long-term commitment on how men fall in love is profound and multifaceted, as it shapes the emotional depth, stability, and growth of a relationship. For many men, the process of falling in love evolves significantly when they shift from short-term attraction to a deeper commitment to a partner. Long-term commitment creates a unique environment where love transitions from initial passion and infatuation to a deeper, more enduring bond rooted in trust, mutual respect, and shared experiences. One of the most significant impacts of long-term commitment is the creation of a stable emotional foundation. When a man commits to a partner over the long term, he begins to feel a sense of security and predictability in the relationship. This emotional stability is essential for fostering deeper intimacy, as both partners are able to be more vulnerable, knowing that they are supported and loved over time. For men, this stability allows them to let go of some of their emotional defenses, gradually opening up more and revealing their true selves. The reassurance that their partner is there for the long haul can encourage them to express emotions they might have been reluctant to share earlier. Long-term commitment also fosters a sense of shared history, which can deepen the emotional connection. As time goes on, couples accumulate experiences together, memories of milestones, challenges faced, and triumphs shared. These shared experiences create a rich emotional tapestry that strengthens the bond between partners. For men, knowing that they have built a life together with their partner gives them a sense of pride and fulfillment. The shared history not only reinforces love but also cultivates a sense of belonging and togetherness that makes the relationship feel meaningful and irreplaceable. Long-term commitment encourages personal growth, both individually and as a couple. Over time, men begin to evolve in response to the dynamics of the relationship. The process of learning to compromise, communicate effectively, and navigate conflicts helps both partners develop important emotional skills that contribute to personal growth. As a man commits to his partner, he often learns more about himself, his emotional needs, desires, and capacity for empathy. This growth is reciprocal. The partner also grows, and as both individuals evolve, the relationship deepens, creating a dynamic of mutual support and continuous development. Commitment over time also helps to solidify trust, which is one of the most critical elements of love. When a man and his partner make a long-term commitment, they demonstrate a willingness to weather life's challenges together, whether it's dealing with financial struggles, health issues, or personal setbacks. This enduring partnership allows both individuals to rely on each other in times of difficulty, fostering an unwavering sense of trust. Trust, once established, is a key pillar of lasting love. For men, knowing that their partner is fully committed provides a sense of confidence and security that reinforces their emotional investment in the relationship. Long-term commitment often shifts the focus of love from fleeting romantic excitement to a deeper, more fulfilling connection. In the early stages of a relationship, attraction may be driven by novelty and infatuation. However, as time passes and commitment deepens, the relationship matures into a partnership based on companionship, emotional support, and shared goals. For many men, this transition marks the moment when love becomes less about passion and more about a shared vision for the future, including family, career, and life aspirations. The bond created by long-term commitment allows love to transcend physical attraction and become a source of profound emotional fulfillment. The impact of long-term commitment often brings about a sense of legacy. As the relationship matures, the couple may build a life together, create a family, or contribute to their community. For many men, the act of committing to a partner over the long term signifies a desire to create something lasting and meaningful, both for themselves and for future generations. The sense of purpose that comes with long-term commitment reinforces their emotional attachment and deepens their sense of love, as they are not just investing in the present, but also in the future. In conclusion, the impact of long-term commitment on how men fall in love is transformative. It strengthens emotional stability, deepens intimacy, encourages personal growth, solidifies trust, and nurtures a shared vision for the future. Through long-term commitment, love evolves into something more profound and lasting, offering both partners a sense of fulfillment, security, and meaning. For men, this commitment fosters a love that is resilient, grounded, and capable of withstanding the trials of life, ensuring that their emotional bond continues to grow and flourish over time.